In this video, I will be walking you through the typical application process for becoming a 911 dispatcher. Speaking from my own experience going through this process, along with general industry practices, I'll give you an overview of what to expect. Now keep in mind, every agency operates a little differently. Some may change the order of steps they make you go through. Some might not even make you do a certain step. But this breakdown covers the most common practices. First step in applying to be a 911 dispatcher is to research what the heck you're getting yourself into. 911 dispatching is a rewarding career, but it comes with its challenges. So it's important to fully understand what you're getting yourself into. If you're watching this video, you're already in a great place to learn more about the process. I also encourage you to explore the resources we have available at theraspydispatcher.com, along with other YouTube channels, other resources. We are not the only place for information about this profession, and we want you to have the most information available to you when making this decision. I say this a lot, and I want to emphasize this here. Not all agencies are the same. When you are researching this job, make sure you're also taking a look at the department you're going to be applying for. And be prepared to ask the right questions at your interview to make sure that department is a good fit. But we go into depth in the interview process in another playlist, so don't forget to subscribe. Step 2, find open positions. I believe there are two perfect places to find open positions for 911 dispatcher roles. First, check the websites of your local agencies. Simply head to Google, type in your city's police or fire department's name, and hit search. On their website, navigate to their career, human resources, jobs section, and that is where you will find open positions at your local agencies. The second great resource is governmentjobs.com. While many of our city departments, county agencies utilize governmentjobs.com, it's also a great place to find agencies that have openings that might be a little bit outside of where you're living, especially if you're interested in moving out of state or don't mind a bit of commute. Governmentjobs.com is a great hub that a lot of agencies pour into to advertise their open positions. Step 3, submitting your application. Once you've identified the agency you want to apply for, the next step is to submit that application. But here's a soft warning. From the moment you submit that application, you are officially in the process, meaning any information that you submit will be vetted and checked. So even at this initial stage of the application, make sure that the information that you are submitting is thorough, correct, and you're not omitting anything. If you think to yourself, I'm going to leave off that one job that I left without giving notice so they don't contact them, don't do that. Put all the information that they're asking for honestly, accurately in that initial application, because that initial application will also contribute to the background portion of this process. But we'll get into that a little later, I promise. Step 4, the pre-employment test. Again, keep in mind, every agency is different, and that is especially true when it comes to the pre-employment test. Most agencies will require you to take one, though sometimes they do go by different names. The most popular name you may come across is Critical. But out here in California, we also have the post-dispatcher test. Don't get too hung up on the name though. The key thing to remember is that they're all looking for the same fundamental skills and abilities. So typically, any practice or prep you do will help you pass whatever test they throw at you. Critical does offer a test prep guide, which I'll link in the description of this video. Some of the typical sections you'll encounter include multitasking, advanced decision making, computerized data entry and oral comprehension, reading comprehension, cross-referencing, frequency of information, probability determination, map reading and geographic directions, memory recall, long-term and short-term, numerical ability, perceptual ability, and vocalization summary. Now, each agency gets to customize, turn on, and turn off each section of the test they want included. And they get to determine their own passing scores for each of those sections. So if you take the test at one agency, it's very likely you're not going to take the same exact test at another. Step 5, The interview process. Congrats, you passed your pre-employment test. Now they want to see if you're a good fit for the agency and more specifically for that communication center. Most likely, the format of your interview will be a panel style interview. That means you're going to meet with anywhere from 2 to 4 interview panelists who will be taking turns asking you questions. Remember when I said not all agencies are created equal? The interview is your time to figure out if this department, this center, is a good fit for you as well. I get it. During the interview, we're focused on landing the job, securing the bag. I've been there. But as someone who's been privileged enough to be able to visit multiple centers across the states, I cannot stress enough how important it is to make sure this agency is a good fit for you. Step 6 is the background. After your interview, which you nail, of course, you are put into the background portion of this process. And to be honest, this is where so many people slip up. From talking to a few background investigators, I've learned it's rarely an applicant's history that disqualifies them. Rather, it's them lying about their history. Let me be clear. Whatever you are most worried about, the backgrounders heard it all before. Life happens, people make mistakes. It's okay. They expect you to be human, not perfect. One person recently explained to me the background process is broken down like this. In the process, your backgrounder, along with you, is going to encounter speed bumps, hurdles, and walls. Speed bumps are small things, when you're driving a car, gotta get over the speed bump, gotta give it a little gas, might take a little extra to get over, but no biggie. Hurdles are a little harder. You gotta dig in, you gotta plant your feet, you gotta really excel to get over them, but still manageable. Walls, those are more challenging, requiring extra effort and a little bit more explaining to get through them. In regards to anything in your background, it really comes down to time, space, and consistency. A DUI from 10 years ago, that's more like a hurdle. We can get through that. A DUI from last week, now that's a wall. There's not enough time or space between the mistake and this application. But come back in a few years and it might become a hurdle. So in short, just be honest, tell the truth, answer the questions that are being asked of you, and don't omit anything during the background process. And more importantly, they are paying money to put you through backgrounds. They want you to be successful. Help them help you get this job. Step 7, the polygraph. Yes, the polygraph. I know. You're probably thinking, Ashley, why do I have to take a polygraph? It's not even admissible in court. And I hear you. But don't yell at the messenger, okay? I'm just helping you prepare. And as someone who has taken 3 polygraphs, I can tell you it's not as bad as it seems. They're actually scarier in theory than they are in practice. But not every agency requires it. Every agency, again, is different. But here's the good news. You'll know exactly what questions are going to be asked on the polygraph before they even turn that machine on. Step 8. Feeling tired yet? The process is long, but when you get to this step, we're nearing the end of the tunnel. We can see the light. We're almost there. So just hang with me. Step 8, the psychological exam. Now, I don't claim to know the exact science behind the psychological exam, why they ask the questions they do and the way they do it and the amount of questions that they ask. It's out of my scope of practice. All I can tell you is from someone who's had to take the psychological exam a few times when applying for agencies. They're all kind of built the same. It is a questionnaire with a lot of questions asked slightly different throughout the questioning, and then you meet with the psychologist. After that short interview, they're going to review your questions and submit a report to the agency. That's all I got for you on the psychological exam. Step 9, medical, also known as the finish line. Typically, if you make it to the medical part of the process, the next step is going to be an offer of employment. So don't drop the ball at the finish line. The medical exam typically includes a basic physical, a hearing test, a vision test, and yes, a drug test. So know that going in. And there you have it. That, my friends, is the general breakdown of the typical application process for becoming a 911 dispatcher. As you can see, it is a thorough process. But if you stay honest, do your research, and put in the effort, you will set yourself up for success. Remember, every agency is different. So while this covers the common steps you might encounter, make sure to tailor your approach to the specific department you're applying for. Don't forget to check out the other playlists we have here on our channel, The Raspy Dispatcher. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share it with others who might be interested in becoming 911 dispatchers. And as always, for more tips and more resources, head over to theraspydispatcher.com. Good luck throughout the rest of your process. And until next time, stay raspy, everybody.